Helen Weller invested $10,000 in an account that pays 10% simple interest. How much additional money must be invested in an account that pays 13% simple interest so that the average return on the two investments is 11%? Okay, so here's how we've got to do this. She's got 10,000, right, times 0.10, right? Plus, now an easy, well, let's talk about this first. She's got the 10,000, she puts it in the bank. Then she's got to multiply 10,000 times 10% and add that to the money. So if I factor out the 10,000, because both the numbers need to be multiplied by 10,000, in other words, I'm going to get 10,000 when I distribute the 10,000 through to the 1, that gives me the 10,000 plus the 10%. So everything I have written on the board represents the initial investment of $10,000 plus the interest of 10%. Then it says, how much additional money does she need to invest? Do we know? No, we don't know. So we're going to say X times, and it pays 13%. So this should be 1 plus 0.3. Now, here's the cool thing. What's 1 plus 0.3? 1.3. So we can combine these, okay? And we will in just a second. Now, what does it got to equal? Well, what it has to equal, so let's clean this up first. So this is going to be 10,000 times 1.10 plus X times 1.13, and it has to equal the total amount with an average of 11%. So it has to equal 10,000 plus X times 1.11, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, mathematically, we could go through and do some algebra and see what we get, or we could just solve this equation by graphing everything on the left and graphing everything on the right and finding the intersection. Now, I want to do that because when you take a standardized test, sometimes this is the quicker way, so long as you do it properly. All right, so this is times the quantity 10%?
Yeah.
Okay, plus X, we don't know what X is, times the quantity 1.13. Is that correct? Now, what was on the right-hand side? It was 10,000 plus X times 1.11. So now let's come in here and let's make our minimum like 4,000 for our X value and our maximum like 6,000. And now let's graph it.
It says they intersected.
How about we just do the algebra?
We might need to. So let's try to.
That's right.
Hey, check this out. Look, I just randomly hit the trace. Look where it intersects at. What's the Y value here?
6.
Are those not the same 2 points? So what's the answer? 5,000. Okay.
You could find it out by hitting calculate.
Yeah, so if you hit trace, but you got to get kind of close and you hit 5. And if you have the first curve, you hit it. And if you have the second curve, you hit it, and you just kind of guess in the middle, and it'll calculate it for you.
I was like way off. Like I was above my first and second curve at like 14,000, and jumped up to 16,000.
Yeah. So the answer then is 5,000. Now, if we were to do this algebraically, well, you guys can help me real quick. What's 10,000 times 1.10? Huh?
11,000.
11,000. And then this is, what's 10,000 times the 1.11?
11,100.
And then you just solve that algebraically. So you would subtract the 1, you'd subtract this from both sides. And what does that give you? 0.02. And then you subtract 11 from is equal to 100, right? Is that right? So then on your calculator, if you said 100 divided by 0.02, yeah. There it is.